It's a lot of fun to get out and work with a blowgun. You'd be surprised how accurate you can get with these things. And I've gotten some questions recently about the difference between the Big Bore Blowgun from Coldsteel and the Tim Wells Slock Master blowgun. As you can tell, there's a pretty good amount of difference between the two. And I'm going to do a little experiment in this video, and I'd love for you to come along. Stick around. One thing that those of us who love the outdoors and marksmanship can relate to, and that is the giddiness over our gear. And I've said this before, marksmanship, it's hard to beat. It can be recreational and fun. It can be used for survival. It can be used for defense. One of the most underrated forms of marksmanship in the world, I would have to say, is a blowgun. Now, I know that there's a huge following for the blowguns, but a lot of people don't realize how awesome these things are and how useful they could be. Preppers, for example, you've got a lot of people who take a genuine interest in not only prepping supplies, but prepping skills. We never know where the world is headed. We never know what we're going to go through as a society. We may never go through the things that people try to say we might. Nevertheless, it's still cool to have things around, and it's still great to know as much as we can about these things, and we have a lot of fun in the meantime learning. In the good times and in the seriously hard times, a blowgun would be your friend, especially if you had adequate supplies. These things really do hit hard, and I was very shocked the first time I ever got out and worked with a blowgun. I was like, where has this thing been all my life? And the Big Bore Blowgun was the first one I picked up. I want to say I reviewed it a couple of years back. It was in like the month of December. I remember it being kind of cold outside. I was very blown away by it. I couldn't believe what I had. I couldn't believe how hard this thing hit. But I kept hearing about the Tim Wells blowgun, and I also found out about him taking down the black bear. And y'all answered my question last time, by the way, about what kind of dart that he used. And I think you had told me he used one of these Coldsteel broadheads that he had sharpened, and he also left this part loose so that it would come off when it entered in. In this video, I want to take a look at just immediate power. I'm going to stand about 20 feet away from a target. I'm going to fire one of these broadhead darts from my Big Bore Blowgun. I'm going to see what kind of penetration I get. Then I'm going to fire one of these broadheads from the Tim Wells blowgun. And I want to see how much of a difference there is in the penetration. I keep a lot of blowgun darts in stock. I've got several packs. I've bought different kinds, the bamboo darts, the broadheads, even the shorter ones. And one of the things I discovered even with the bamboo darts is that this head on these things will actually fit a nail. If you cut the broadside off of a nail, it makes the perfect dart that fits inside of one of these caps. So you could take a bunch of nails and cut the tips off and self-source a bunch of darts that way. I did a video on that a while back. It was pretty cool to find that out. I've got my Big Bore right here, and I'm just going to fire at this target, and I'm going to look at the difference. All right, now let's fire with the Slock Master. This is your Big Bore, and this is your Slock Master. The Big Bore dart did not go all the way in. I've loosened the cap on one of these darts, and I'm going to shoot again with my Slock Master. And I'm going to see if I can send this dart all the way through. And I'm just going to risk losing the dart. I'm going to shoot down towards the bottom so that my arrows aren't hitting it in the future, but that's just a sacrifice I'm willing to make for this experiment. And that's exactly what happened. Let's go one more time with the Big Bore just to see what kind of penetration we get. So it looks like the results are consistent in this target. We all knew that the Slock Master was going to be stronger. I mean, the barrel's longer, it's built to deliver more power. The question that people had was, how much? Well, from what I could tell, it's probably 50% more powerful, if not more. There's always this much dart left with the Big Bore when I would shoot with the broadheads. Well, the other one, there's just no stopping it. When I shot it the first time, it went all the way in, and it was even up where the cap was. Well, the second time I took the cap off, I loosened it. And then I shot again, just like with the Tim Wells situation, and the target ate up the dart. So it went all the way in. So you can see there is a pretty significant difference in the power for those who wanted to know how much. That brings us to the end of this video and very simple experiment. I hope this helped answer some of your questions out there. Is the big bore still good for hunting? Absolutely. Smaller game, but it's still not going to hit with the same power as the Slock Master. The Slock Master can pretty much do just about anything if you know what you're doing. Always check your state regulations and laws and all that good stuff. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments if you're a big fan of blowguns, if you've had some hunting success, all that good stuff. Let me know. Take care.